You know, I mean, I feel like so often we can get into, I've done all these amazing things and like maybe like all that fun is over. And now I'm just kind of, what am I doing now? And that in between can feel really like lost. And I want to just kind of be like your funny BFF in your ear to be like, yep, I get it. I've been there too. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Welcome to Carrie On, the show where we explore reinvention, self-discovery, and empowerment before, during, and after midlife. I'm your host, Carrie Murray. It's time to keep our head above the chaos and carry on. Welcome to a very special episode of Carrie On. I'm joined by one of my best friends, Stacey Beeman.
Hi.
The fierce to my fabulous. Many moons ago, we had a podcast called The F Word, Girls Gone 40, because at the time I was in my 40s. And we're back together because we're trying out something new where we carry on together, but also Stacey makes me carry on independently. As everyone knows, I like to do all the interviewing and asking and listening, but now we're flipping the script where I get asked questions. But just to like go back to when we first started our very first episode, which was in November of 2018.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the F Word is still available on Apple Podcasts. So, or
You know what? And it's a good listen. It's fun.
We're fun.
We're so fun.
We're a lot of fun.
Yes.
You also can kind of see the evolution that kind of brought me here.
Totally.
And because we were filming episodes in this house in my closet
Oh my gosh, we were.
to protect the sound, remember?
Yes, yes. And we were like huddled over one mic.
Uh-huh.
I think we were sitting crisscross applesauce with one mic sitting between us.
And
we
a
were
laptop.
Like, can you hear us okay?
And a bottle of rosé.
Obviously. Always.
Yes.
Without fail.
Yeah. And since that time, you've become married. I've gotten divorced. Between the two of us, we've had 4 knee surgeries.
Yes, that's right. Dang, that's crazy. You're so
Yep.
right. Oh
We've
my.
also, between the two of us, lost at least 80 pounds.
Whee!
You wear readers now.
I do. And I have them clutched in my hands.
And I'm going bald.
Wow.
So much has changed.
So much transition. It's
Yes,
good times.
we've also traveled to Montana,
Oh my
New
gosh.
York, Vegas. What else did I put? Palm Springs, San Francisco, for a lot of great time. Please scroll through our Instagram so you can see all of our shenanigans.
Oh my gosh.
Also, I've now since then phased out Bra Network a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Stacey is a founding member of Bra. And things are changing now with Plyo Jam.
Mm-hmm.
And you've built your own business, Be Women Marketing.
Yeah.
Things we haven't done. We haven't run a marathon. To hence the
knee surgeries.
things.
That's a little bit of a hindrance. Yes.
We haven't gone to jail.
No, not yet.
Yeah, see? So we're doing good.
Yeah.
And Biden was president the last time
We
we
recorded.
and little did we know
was
in
coming.
that last episode where we would be today.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. I took a listen to that last episode. Actually, I think that was before I even knew I was coming on. I think I was just trying to remember. You know, it's so fun to go down memory lane, and it is really interesting to have a time capsule of where you were at a certain time.
Absolutely.
And you say things in a podcast you didn't remember that you said. So it was
Do you
interesting.
remember anything?
Well, I
Like-
hadn't, but then I took a listen, and our very last F word pod that we recorded. So the premise was we would each have an F word for that episode. And I think it was foresight and finance that we both had, but we were just talking about the changing of things happening in our lives at that time.
Yeah.
So, and here we are again with things changing. So I think that's kind of like the theme of life. Things are always changing. And we have to just roll with that. But interestingly, in that episode, which I think came out in October 2023, yes, Biden was president. You had just thrown the Wealthy Women Summit, the second
yes.
one that you had done. So we were doing a lot of reflecting on that. And I think at that time it was when it was on your heart and mind to possibly shift bra and shift away from it. But at that time you were like, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't even know where I'm going to be in 5 months from right now. And
Wow.
yes. And that's exactly what I did when I listened to that, because I went, this is November 2023, December, January, February, March, whatever it was. It was exactly to March 2020.
Wait, was that episode November? I don't have the actual episode date because March 19th, which is Tony Purry's birthday, was
Yes.
when he exited.
Yes, when Carrie's husband left, and it was exactly 5 months before when you were saying, I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 months.
Isn't that crazy?
And it was, when I listened to it just last week, I was like, dude, spot on, sister.
But also my word was foresight.
Yes. Oh, come on.
Wow. And
I know.
actually the foresight was to talk about WeWo and kind of like, am I going to do this again?
Right.
If I
And
had
what's
the
next?
foresight, what would I do differently? That's fascinating.
It
I'm
was.
going to have to re-listen to it. You know, I'll tag it and I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
You guys head back to that episode on Apple.
And just to like make the listeners aware, it starts with a very strong conversation about fitness wear and the issue when your belly and your leggings roll down your belly. And
Yes.
you're just like, why is my belly out?
Yes.
And I'm trying to do a jack and I'm like not held in by my, so
Yeah.
it's a very strong conversation. Y'all should listen.
Yeah. No, literally my leggings are like here.
Oh yeah.
And the
right
sports
under the
bra's
titties.
here. And there's
Totally.
like a little bit
Yeah.
of skin that comes out because you got to hold it up past the fupa.
And I
Another
was
F word.
giving people my tip of if they do tend to roll down, to wet it. Girl, I have figured it all out, so you can be held in while you're doing a jack.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So yes, a lot has changed since then, but like a lot has stayed the same too. You know, that's
For
the
sure.
thing.
I mean,
That's the
we're
thing.
still fierce and fabulous.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
and you've now gotten married, and we did a whole episode on that, which was
Yes,
fantastic.
yes.
How's married life treating you?
Married life is good. It's not easy though, and anyone who says it is full of shit.
Yeah.
Because you just are like, oh, like I have to constantly think about someone else now. I went to this show in LA. It's called Shucks, and it was like this cute musical. Have you heard of it?
Yeah,
the one with Korn, and
yeah.
it was a cute show, but there was like this line in the show, and it was kind of funny. They were making spoofs about marriage and stuff, and this guy was like, well, the truth about marriage is that you're just taking on someone else's issues in addition to your own. And I was like, yeah. But it's also wonderful. I have a good one who, you know, turns my heating pad on for me every night. So.
Oh, that's very
We
sweet.
love him.
Yeah,
He's a good guy.
He'll bring you coffee too.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
And
That's
he's
so great.
super supportive of like, you know, I've been in a very transition-y type time right now and like what's happening next, what am I going to do next? And he's like, you can do anything you want. So that's a good feeling.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, before you interrogate me,
Flip the script. Is your seat getting hot?
a little bit. I'm getting a little warm in the undercarriage. But tell us about what's coming up with this kind of transition of Plyo Jam and what do we have looking forward?
So I've had to, and there's been a major grief process, I have to admit, and really realizing that my body can't perform Plyo Jam the way it used to. You know, like Carrie mentioned, 2 knee surgeries and just getting older, I was in pain all the time, and it was just really hard. Now, I do see a new iteration of that coming where it's like some dancing, not as much plyometrics, or if any, and some incorporated strength. So I would love to do that. So I'm kind of developing sort of a new iteration of Plyo Jam for the more mature.
Okay.
So because I think, you know, we should never stop dancing. It's just gonna have to look a little bit different.
Yeah.
And my marketing business has blossomed, which I feel so blessed about. And I love that. And I love helping other businesses reach their goals. But I do feel sort of like this void that I need to still fill with creativity and output, which I used to get through dancing and teaching and choreographing, right? So for the last, year plus, I've been like, what else can I do with our YouTube channel? Because we have a ton of subscribers over there on the Plyo Jam YouTube channel. And while I know many of them subscribed for the dancing, they saw me in videos where I was who I was while I was dancing or not. I would stop in the middle of a routine because I had an eyelash in my eye and be like, hold on, stop. Yeah. I wasn't like this super polished fitness professional. I was just totally me. So I thought, well, we can like take that personality and harness it into something else. So I am in the middle of developing a show for our Plyo Jam YouTube channel. It's called Reinventing Stacey. And it's kind of giving like second act energy for the midlife person, I mean, I feel like so often we can get into, I've done all these amazing things and like maybe like all that fun is over. And now I'm just kind of, what am I doing now? And that in between can feel really like lost. And I want to just kind of be like your funny BFF in your ear to be like, yep, I get it. I've been there too. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think also what happens when you're hitting your 40s and everything is you don't give a fuck anymore, right? Yeah. So you're like, well, if I'm not consumed with like caring what everybody thinks or what my mother-in-law is going to say or what, hi, Luna.
Hey, girl, hey. Get out of here.
That's called
you
the cat
silly.
commercial. That's a little cat commercial. That means she usually
We
comes
love
up.
a bold pussy.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Don't even worry about it.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I
we
mean,
love it.
But like I was saying, you know, when you stop having to care about what everyone else is thinking around you or what they're commenting on, or even if it's family, you do have this newfound freedom and space and time, because you're like, well, if I'm not spending all the time worrying why they didn't respond to that email or what's happening, you're like, oh, what do I do with all this extra time?
Yeah.
Oh, I can think about me, which is so foreign.
Yeah.
If you've spent your last 25 years worrying about your job, your boss, your spouse, your children, your dogs, all the things. When that frees up, we can have some time to reinvent ourselves, find new joys, find new things that are happiness. And I think your conversations will weave in so beautifully with the conversations I'm having about what women want change and what we want to be activated in.
Yeah.
So I think I'm very excited for you.
I'm excited, you know, and I'm very well aware that it may not translate for everybody who follows us over there, because they might just be there for the sweat, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue putting that kind of content there as well. But I think a YouTube channel can have so many different, you know,
You have different
branches.
playlists.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You have different playlists.
So
you know?
I'm planning on launching that in June 2026.
Great.
So I'm really
All right.
excited about it.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
Welcome. All right. Well.
So, okay. Well, let me just get my read. As Carrie mentioned, I do need readers these days. Okay. 47.
Gosh, I'm kind of a little nervous. Not going to lie.
Oh my gosh. Well, listen, I mean, the thing is, you've interviewed so many people about their journeys. You want to platform people, give them a space to speak about what they've been through.
Sure.
But like, I think today we need to hear a little bit more about you know, and what you've been through. So as we mentioned in March 2024, your husband unexpectedly left.
Correct.
You were not expecting it.
No.
And it was pretty shocking to all of us.
Yes.
I will say. I was pretty shocked too. Can we talk about what I went through? No, I'm just kidding. But we did go through it together.
Yes, we did. In fact, all of the women in this room right now,
Yeah.
I didn't know Liz yet, but I know she would have been there for me. But every woman in this room right now on this team absolutely got me and my family through it.
Absolutely. And I know you actually did a episode, I think a little while ago, where you talked a lot about that, and you had built a community not knowing just how much you would need.
Correct.
That, you know? But I do think, you know, you were someone who was married to someone who was somewhat notable, and people saw you were a married person with children, and then suddenly you weren't, and you didn't go public about, like, guess what, everybody, or this is what happened. And we don't need to go into all of that today. We can go into whatever you want. But I want to know, first of all, we're coming up on 2 years.
Yeah.
And I don't think pain goes away in 2 years.
Yeah.
But I want to know where you're at now and how you're doing. Just how are you feeling
absolutely.
so far?
Well, I think the first year when I've told you before, I have gaps in my memory.
Oh, I'm sure.
Especially spring. When he left in March, my son's birthday was less than a month later.
Yeah.
And I remember the birthday party. I don't remember who was there.
Yeah.
And then my next memory from there was I purposely planned our family vacation, me and the kids, to Hawaii to leave on Father's Day. So I knew I wouldn't have to think about him and what his expectations were for Father's Day. And it was like, I remember that. So April to June 17th, whatever that, I have no idea what
You were rolling blank tape.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it was because I was protecting myself, and I was so overly consumed with, well, I need a good fucking lawyer.
Yeah.
And I need to take care of these kids.
Absolutely.
And my daughter's graduating high school in less than 3 months before father leaves, you know, and my son is getting ready to graduate 8th grade.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like, okay, wow, I have to manage these major milestones that my kids are going to have while I'm going through one of the most horrific experiences I've ever had. I was unbelievably heartbroken when he first left, especially because it was for somebody else. That was devastating to know that there was conversations happening in spaces between him and this other person that I wasn't aware of that were going to have a direct impact on the trajectory of my life and the life of my kids.
Yeah.
So I got a good therapist.
So painful.
And really just kind of was cocooned.
Yeah.
And my friends came around. You guys circled the wagons like queens, and really took care of the three of us.
Yeah.
Then fast forward to last year, 2024. That's when I really felt it. That's when I was like, oh, this is what it
So
feels
year
like.
one was more like numb.
Totally numb.
Okay.
Totally numb.
And survival.
And while it hurt, and I was able to have the support of my friends and my therapists, and didn't really feel the pain of a breakup after 23 years until last year.
Interesting.
Especially around holidays. And my birthday, our anniversary, his birthday, the kid's birthday. Because mind you, during this time, he does not have a relationship with his children. So mitigating that and his expectations, and then protecting what my kids need, but also protecting my own peace. And it was just very raw last year.
Interesting.
And
which you would maybe think logically
would be
the
the
first
reverse,
year,
right?
and then second year maybe it would be better. But
no,
grief is so unpredictable.
It
though,
really
right?
is. And there are times when I was, if you go through the stages of grief and everything, so, denial.
Sure.
And that last year I was angry.
Yeah.
Very, very angry about how
rightfully fucking so.
Right. Like, how could I not see this? What, like blaming myself, like what was going on? Then blaming like the coulda, woulda, shouldas.
Of course.
Should I have asked him more, or should I have cooked dinner more? Should I have done this more?
Yeah, of course.
All down the rabbit hole. And ultimately I realized it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with him.
Absolutely.
And whatever he was going through, his own insecurities with his own relationship and his own identity as a father and husband.
Yeah.
So once I kind of came out of that, which I would say was January of this year.
Wow. Okay.
Because the holidays were really hard because I had that other thing happen.
Yes.
Which we'll discuss that on another episode.
Yeah.
January of this year, I felt like, okay, because I moved back here, and this was the house where all the fun stuff happened. All the good things happened with my kids and everything.
I know I felt a little worried. I mean, not totally, but I was like, okay, how is that going to affect you?
Yeah.
Coming back here.
I redecorated everything.
Oh, beautiful.
I made this studio.
Hell yeah.
I pursued my dreams, and I allowed my kids to do what they wanted to do. But this is a house where they learn to walk. Where they learn to swim. So there's so many good things here.
Yes.
Where at the old house is where all the shit happened. It's
That's
the house.
true.
I have my security camera video of him walking out holding a suitcase.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing it.
Yeah. So it's like, I could have posted that on Instagram. I could have shared all of this. But
Well, I just say I have so much. I have watched every moment of this go down from the day it happened, right?
You were the first person I called, by the way. I called you before I called my mom.
I love that. And I hope that I responded. I mean,
did.
it's just so shocking. And it was so upsetting. And I knew you would be okay. I knew it would take a long time because you're someone who commits. You commit to your relationship, your kids, your friendships. You're a committed person. I do think maybe now we know that you are in for it to be better for your life.
Yeah.
Your life is going to be better now. But at the time, I mean, it was just so horrific. And I want to just give you so many props and so much credit because I feel like you could have gone fucking Richter.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And because there is a spotlight and a bit of a celebrity situation, you could have really blasted
I was
lot.
actually DM'd from news organizations to comment because as soon as I filed, it was blasted among social media and
which of
outlets.
course having that element
That
in
was
addition
fun.
to everything else, but you were just so committed to protecting your kids and also knowing that however you were handling this, you could be proud of. Like you had agency over your behavior, your response. You didn't have agency over what he did.
No.
And that's a hard lesson that we all learn that we can't control other people, but you're able to hold your head really, really high.
Yeah. And I didn't want to lose that. I didn't want to I was the one who was like on the pedestal. I was at a place where I did nothing wrong. So I didn't need to fall from grace. I was going to stay graceful and live my life knowing that you were the one that fucked up. You were the one they're going to come after. Not me.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in the industry that he's in, he's revered no matter what. No matter what he does. He's revered.
Well, I believe in it coming back one way or another.
Oh,
Maybe not right this second.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Karma is karma.
Karma
This
is
true.
karma.
Yeah, and he's still the same person. I'm a completely different
Well, that's
person.
the whole thing. He has to, revered or not.
Yeah.
Some people have to live with who they are, no matter what external validation they get.
Yeah.
validation is here.
It's truly
It
is.
does not matter what other
And when
people
this was
say.
all going on, I remember talking to you guys about, I miss the old Carrie. I miss that Carrie before this devastating thing happened. Like, am I fun? Is this even, I felt like times we would be going out, like all of us, and I literally was like in a fishbowl and I couldn't really hear any of you guys. But it was, again, in January when I kind of had this epiphany that, like, no, I'm never going to be that Carrie again. She did me well. I thanked her to get me to where I am today. But the new iteration of Carrie is so much better off.
Well, that leads me to my next question, actually, because a lot of times people have said that divorce can feel like both an ending and a beginning.
Yeah.
So I think you went through all of the ending steps.
Yeah,
and they
definitely.
were rough. They were numb and they were painful and they were angry. But you are beginning again. And I think, look what you're doing. You didn't just sit and wallow. You've created something brand new where once again, you want to connect people and you want to platform them and you want to share. And I think that's so incredible. So like, how do you feel like what's new about this, Carrie?
Well, I don't tolerate a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It's really great to not have to be like walking on eggshells or like worrying what's going to walk through the door. So
you were living a lot of life like that.
Yeah. My nervous system is
good.
So calm. And I'm getting to know my kids in such a different way. Also, it's because of their age. They're becoming these little young people who have opinions where when they're little, you tell them, oh, you're not going to like that because of this. Or you sure you want to do that? Where now they're like, no, I don't want that. I'm not going to like that. So it's nice to get to know them in this iteration.
Yeah.
It is, I'm not going to lie, it is hard for me to go out with a group of couples.
Of course.
Or see things that are couple-based for couples. I have a newfound perspective of what's that like as a single gal and everything. And I have a now new understanding of how a woman could very much be lost in a divorce type situation if she doesn't understand her finances and her rights. And luckily, I knew all of those things. So I can't imagine going through this and not having any idea where our money is,
right?
What's in our retirement or anything like that. I knew all of that, so I felt confident that was going to take care of itself. And it's the state of California. So after 10 years, it's all community property anyway. So
we love that.
Yeah. Thanks, California.
And may I just add to knowing your rights, knowing your finances is also, I think as a married person, your life should never be only your husband.
Correct.
Because you had all these great friendships, all this great community to fall back on.
Right.
And that's important.
And what does he have?
Exactly.
A girlfriend.
And when women don't have that, like they need, where do they turn?
Exactly.
How lonely. So I think that's super important.
Find your friends, find people to advocate for you. Yeah.
Well, I think that I'm sure, and tell me if I'm wrong, I'm sure you've come to realize that you're stronger than you ever thought you were.
I keep surprising myself. Yeah.
And you're like, survive the next thing. You've survived the next thing.
What else?
And I don't think you're just surviving anymore.
No.
I'm not going to try to say you're over it and you're thriving and you're no worries and you don't think about it.
It still very much hurts me.
Of course. But so what do you think is next? Well, I do want to say, now again, time is a gift. And as time goes by, your heart might change, your brain might change. Who knows? Just as we said, who knows in 6 months from now?
Right.
Or 2 years from now.
Yeah.
But what do you think is next for yourself? First of all, do you ever see moving and leaving California?
Not if my parents are still here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not moving away from my parents.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Maybe you'll be a bi-coastal gal.
I definitely could see myself. I'm a city girl, as we know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind living in New York for a while. I don't want to retire in New York.
Yeah. We're all retiring together in
Santa Barbara. In the winery. Like,
hello.
But yeah, I mean, as far as like, would I ever get married again? Probably not.
Yeah.
I would definitely explore in a relationship, but right now I don't want to take care of anybody but myself and my children.
Yeah.
And my business.
Yeah.
The idea of, stepping back into that kind of support role, I'm not looking for at all. I want to be the star.
Yeah.
And I can definitely, Hillary put me on Bumble. So as you know, I got Hillary, my sister-in-law, in the divorce.
Winning.
which is
good.
also a complicated thing is
Yes,
families.
sure.
Like the division of families and everything. And it's so freaking weird.
Yeah.
And the stories they create for themselves to give him a pass for being who he is. So
Again, they just have to live with
they
that.
have to live with it, and I don't have
You
to.
don't.
No. So
How freeing.
good luck. But that, I think, and we have Dr. Wendy Walsh coming on, who is a relationship coach and psychologist. So it'll be interesting.
What a
to
great
see.
day.
I know.
For filming.
It's a lot of carries. But it is something I would consider. I don't know if I would ever live with a man again.
Yeah.
I think, was it
Oh
Diane
gosh, I can't wait to
Keaton?
hear this back in 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
See where you are. You know, you never know.
You never know.
never
Was it
know.
Diane Keaton who said she never lived with a man?
Yes.
Yeah.
I read that when she passed away recently. I reread some of her philosophies
Yeah.
and stuff and thought that was very
Said
interesting.
if she ever had a husband, she would
Yeah.
make him live next door or something like that.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I know. But we'll see. I mean, she put me on the Bumble. I really don't know how it works. We can have a follow-up and go through it.
Oh my
maybe.
gosh, please.
Yes, she made a profile and put picture of me at your wedding.
Oh, well, you look so fabulous there.
I did. It was quite stunning.
did.
We'll insert that photo here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Stunning.
so I don't really know how it works. But
Yeah.
right now I'm just really looking for a hotel boyfriend.
Understandable because,
Yeah.
you're a human.
Yeah.
You miss intimacy. So
Yes.
that would be a great start.
Yeah.
And you deserve that.
Yeah, kind of all of The Graduate.
Sure.
Meet me in a bar.
We love that.
A nice
Have a
4 season-
martini.
have a martini and let's be friends for a little
Yeah,
bit.
I like
and then
that.
you can move along.
Reach out if you're interested or you know someone who is.
I have an application.
There's an application process. Well, I'm so glad. Thank you so much for opening up about this because I think people probably have been curious.
Yes.
And it's one of those things where people don't want to ask.
Yes.
They're like, what?
Yeah.
And then, we've done it before where we're sleuths and we're like trying to look at the timeline. Okay, there's the last picture of him. And then what happened in between? So you've shared a little bit. I think that's great. People need to know you, the interviewer.
Yes, you're right. Thank you for making me do this.
Yes, absolutely. And hopefully your seat hasn't been too hot. We'll talk about it again sometime.
Yeah, these, I don't know what we're going to call it, Carrie On Chronicles or something. We got to figure out how to brand this baby. Well, thank you for coming on. I miss our
Absolutely.
F-word days. And
Absolutely.
I want you to come back and let's just talk about our growth from this point on, building a podcast, changing platforms, just all the things that we have going on.
Absolutely.
And you're right. I would like to hear what this sounds like in 5 months.
You never know. That's the beautiful thing about life, right?
Exactly.
Thing you can count on is the permanence of impermanence. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. No, thank you for
I love you.
I love you too. And thank you for all your support for me and my kids
Of course.
past 2 years. I really couldn't have gotten through it without you, especially your mom. Oh, your mom. She's like, I'll never watch that show again.
Oh, no. And that's hard for her.
I know. It's on fucking all the time.
They were like,
Jesus.
that's it for us.
Yeah.
They're loyal. We're loyal in the Beeman family.
That's right. Love you,
All
girl.
right, love you too.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this special episode of Carrie On with my best friend, Stacey Beeman. Where can we find you?
Follow me at Stacey Beeman on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. I make a lot of stories just showing my dog, showing my no
She's
makeup
cute.
face, talking about life in general. So
Great, yeah.
stay there with me so that I can direct them when my show launches.
Okay, great.
Thank
and as
you.
always, comment below if this gave you a spark of inspiration or if you're going through something and you want to give a best friend a shout out who's been there for you. Because as always, keep your head above the chaos and carry on. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Carry On. Be sure to find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And as always, like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And don't forget to keep your head above the chaos and carry on.